PureGym is one of the cheapest gyms in the UK, charging roughly £26 per month. Yet somehow, they have turned over a whopping £605 million in the last year. That's pretty outrageous. With 1.5 million members and 422 gyms across the UK alone, PureGym have become the king of fitness. My question is, how? How on earth can they charge so little yet turn over so much? For the last 3 years, I've been training to become a construction site manager based in the UK, and today I'm going to break down PureGym in a way that you've never seen before. This is going to be fun. Architecture and design is probably the most important thing when it comes to business. Look at IKEA, for example, using a fixed one-way path to make sure customers walk past every section, in turn seeing more items and creating unplanned purchases. Or even Apple, who uses a large open space and purposely has no visible checkout to create a community feel where people stay for longer, which we've all done. We can even go over and look at places like Starbucks, where it feels like a new home where we can work, hang out, relax with the soft lighting and warm colours, which is the complete opposite of McDonald's, which has loud colours and hard seats, creating a fast turnover of customers. Okay, so there are 6 key design features in every PureGym that keep costs lower than pretty much every other gym, make newcomers feel welcomed and not intimidated, and also having the ability to open a new gym anywhere and much faster than anyone else. A little bit later in the video, I've also got a call with the company that supplies security portals in every single PureGym across the UK, and you're going to want to hear what they have to say. But for now, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to wake up early tomorrow morning because I don't want to be embarrassed recording myself in the gym, and I'm going to break down PureGyms in the UK. Okay, so starting with the welcome magnet. Have you noticed how every PureGym literally looks the same? Most high street shops spend around 3 to 5% of their total revenue on maintenance and upkeep. That's 30 to 50 grand per million that they earn. Traditional gyms spend even more, up to 7%, because all of their extra features and heavy staffing. But PureGym only spend 1 to 2% of their total earnings on maintenance. And it all comes down to their design and branding. Now, one of the genius things about these PureGyms is that they use this OBS board, which is this wooden stuff, and they don't even paint over it. And so what they're using is a really cheap board, because they could use plasterboard, which is a lot more dense, a lot more stronger, but there's no need to. So they save money by using these really cheap boards, and they don't even paint over them. They just use the color of the wall as the design for their PureGyms, which is pretty genius and a great way to save money. Yeah, it's quite impressive. Now, not to point out the obvious, but of course they're not spending money on maintaining a swimming pool or saunas or a steam room. But if we look into the design a little bit more, they don't really have a lobby. They don't have ceiling tiles. The toilet and shower is as small as can be. And even the fact that there's no reception desk. This is how they save so much money. I imagine with the portal systems you provide, just alone for PureGym, that cuts out a lot of cost, because where you would need a reception desk and staff and people to see who's coming in and out, that's kind of all done for you via the portal, and the cameras all working together.
Makes it 24/7.
Yeah.
If that's not 24/7, if they've got a reception and it's someone's there from 6 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, it's absolutely fine. And for that reason, you probably don't need a security portal. For that reason, you probably just need a line of security, a line of control, so a speed gate. But in order to make a gym operational 24/7, unmanned, without any actual staff, you can do that by having full control, so a security portal. And if you've got a smart enough system with the CCTV, with access control, it all speaks to one another, with visual gym management systems, etc. In theory, there's no reason for any staff there apart from health and safety. So once you've got good security call systems or emergency response systems started throughout the gym, once you get a decent enough system put together, there's no reason why you can't make it, fully automated 24/7.
Gyms that are open 24/7 is a pretty normal expectation for people nowadays, but go back to 2009, before PureGym existed, they were really rare. But now, due to the security portals and better health and safety, these are a great addition to the welcome magnet, allowing people to come any time of the day to do their workout. Have you ever noticed how in every gym, the treadmills are always at the front? Every PureGym that I've ever gone to, the treadmills are always at the front, and I always just thought this was a coincidence, but now I've researched this video, I understand that the reason they've done this is to make the gym appear less intimidating. If we were to break down the layout of the gym, they put the least intimidating stuff, the most basic equipment, if you will, at the front. The treadmills, the rowing machines, a stretching area, and then as you move into the middle of the gym, someone's car alarm is going off. Yeah, so as we move into the middle of the gym, that's where we find like the resistant machines with the pins where you can change the weight. And then as you go to the end, that's when the most complex equipment is used. That's where the free dumbbells are, that's where the benches are. And this is to make the gym feel less intimidating and more appealing to customers, and therefore more people come in to join the gym. Having worked with a lot of different councils building up to £100 million worth of buildings, I have seen firsthand how much effort goes into planning and designing buildings that make people feel good and also to keep costs as low as possible, and PureGym are the best at it. The next two things I want to touch on is the overhead illusion and the usable flooring. Both are great design features that almost everyone overlooks, but is such a good way to keep costs low and to maximize profit. So another thing they do is, if you look all around me, the level of the walls all around me is 3 meters. Most PureGyms are in big warehouses with high ceilings, but inside, they build interior walls only up to around 4 meters high to trick your eyes. It keeps your focus at eye level, and if you just look a bit higher than that, you see the services for the building. What you don't see is the massive void between the services and the roof of the warehouse. And so what they do is save a lot of money, because they're not putting the walls all the way up to the top of the warehouse, and they're not painting all the way up, and they're not decorating things that we're not even going to care about as a customer going to PureGym. And next up, instead of me explaining the next design feature PureGym use, let me use a fellow YouTuber called Home Rapid Repair.
Check out the best feature of this carpet. Say later down the road you get a damaged piece or a stained piece that you just can't wash out. You literally throw that one away and slide a new one in.
And that is precisely why carpet tiles are brilliant. If you're doing dumbbell press, or if you're using dumbbells or you're carrying some heavy weights and you drop and you damage one of these tiles, the maintenance is so easy because you can simply take one out and replace it with another one. Now this is another great way that PureGym lower cost and keep profits high. Now moving on to the last two parts of the video, let's talk about the staffless secret and the strip back strategy. I'm curious because I'm on a construction site and we have turnstiles before we enter the construction site. And they kind of talk to the cameras and CCTV cameras. Do you have the same with PureGyms, where it's like you scan the QR code and then that keeps like a live data sheet of how many people are in the gym? What's like, do you have all of that working together?
We would work very, very closely with the security integrators. So with PureGym, they've got a dedicated security integrator who essentially provide the access control and security system, CCTV systems. So you're dead right. They want to speak to one another, whereby if there's more than an uneven weight distribution, so let's say there's 2 people standing in a portal, it will flag, it won't open the internal door, the camera will pick up, there's an error, record what's happening and take the last log of who entered, the last pin, the last QR code, and then they can track that back to essentially the last member.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
The advanced communication between the turnstile and the CCTV means that there's no reception, there's no extra overnight shifts to be made, which keeps PureGym a very lean business. And one thing that a lot of people aren't aware of is that their personal trainers that work in PureGym don't actually get a salary, but instead the PTs actually pay PureGym rent to work there. So the risk and cost shifts entirely onto the trainers, and that alone saves millions each year. And what we've also got is the stripped back strategy. They use simple warehouse spaces, minimal finishes, and no extras like pools and saunas like we've spoken about before. Just big open floors, essential equipment, and a functional design. And all of what we've discussed today put together is exactly why PureGym has absolutely taken off in the last few years. And more specifically, that is why they are rated one of the biggest and best gyms in the entire world. Thank you for watching.